Well, good morning, everyone, and good evening here in Australia. There's so many different time zones that we're reaching at this very odd time that we're doing this. So for me here in Australia, it's 10 p.m. at night after what's been, oh my gosh, one of the most exciting days in Arbonne, I think, certainly in my 10 years that I've been in Arbonne. And it's been a long day, hasn't it? It started really early for us here. At 7 a.m. was the product launch, and do you know what? It's been all day going, just sharing and teaching and reading and learning. And it's just, I'm so excited. So I'm really excited to be with you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Gill, and I'm a National Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne. And as I said, I've been with Arbonne for it'll be 10 years next month. And it's just a truly exciting day when we have something as momentous as this that we can now use in our business. So it's exciting to share with you too. And what I want to share with you is just a little bit of information about the ingredients. I mean, we heard so much, the trainings this morning on the product launch, or the last evening for you, yesterday for you. They truly were phenomenal. I don't think we've ever been armed with as much information as what we have with this new product launch. So the information is there. Jean-David did say to us this morning that the more we can learn the basic science and the more knowledgeable we are, the more we're going to be able to help our clients and the more credibility we give Arbonne too. And that's one of the things that I wanted to chat with you really quickly about tonight was really understanding the basic science and understanding how incredibly unique these products are and incredibly unique the ingredient, the trifecta is that we have in the products as well. That is going to set us apart out in the marketplace. I was on a training with Michelle Lopez. Oh, I can't remember which training it was, and I've been trying to dig around to find this information, so I said the right thing. But she did actually quote in a training not so long ago how big the anti-aging industry was. And it was billions of dollars every year turns over in the anti-aging industry. And I remember starting my Arbonne business. My background before I started Arbonne, I managed a large anti-aging clinic and plastic surgery centre. And that's why I fell in love with Arbonne, because every ingredient that we had in our RE9 Advanced range back then was what we'd been trained to look for working with plastic surgeons. Plus, there was so much more in there. So all those years ago, that's what I fell in love with. And I remember when I finished working at the surgical centre where I was pregnant with my second child. And I thought one day I want to own my own clinic so I can tap into that industry. I wanted a part of the big pie. I wanted my piece, but to set up a clinic was hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then I discovered Arbonne, and it allowed me to stay in that space and share these incredible products. So with what we've had launched today, you have the most incredible product to have a piece of that billion dollar anti-aging industry. We will sit out amongst the crowd because what we have is very unique, and that's what I want to share with you today, because I think knowledge is going to be power for you to really use these products to relaunch your business into a whole new era, and that's what we've been using those words with the products. So let me really quickly share with you a little bit more information. I know we got a lot this morning. I've got some notes over here because I could talk about skincare all day. So I have notes to keep me on track so I don't go too long. Actually, Donna hasn't told me how long I get to talk for, so who knows how long I could chat for. No, I'll keep it really quick, I promise, because it's been a big day. But we had so much information given to us this morning about bakuchiol and about retinol. And so I just want to help you get your head around that a little bit more in terms of how are you going to communicate that to your clients then. So it's one thing for us to understand it, but how are we going to then verbalize that in a way that they're thinking, oh, she understands me. She knows what my skin is going through, and that's exactly the ingredient I clearly need to help that. So that's what I want to share with you. So as I said, prior to Arbonne, 10 years ago, I worked in the anti-aging industry and for plastic surgeons, as I said. Now, one of the things that Carol, I think, this morning talked about was the dermatologists and how retinol is the hero ingredient in anti-aging skincare. So if you go to a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon, retinol is always, or some sort of vitamin A is always going to be in what they recommend you use on your skin if you want that beautiful, youthful, glowing skin. So when I worked for in that industry, a huge percentage of our business was actually people coming in and saying, well, I don't want surgery and I don't want needles. So what can I do that's going to get my skin looking the best that it possibly can? And that's when we went down the route of great skincare. And retinol and Retin-A specifically was always one of the things that was recommended. So you might have heard them talk this morning about this little tube of cream, and some of you might have even used this, and it would either be called Retin-A cream, Steva A, Retrieve, but it's the purest form of retinoic acid that you can get. Okay, so that's the highest percentage that people are used to using to get the best results. Now, what happens though, as so many of the trainers were talking about this morning, there's a lot of irritation that comes from using a product like that. Yes, it gets you incredible results, which we'll get to in a second, but the irritation is huge. So I want to give you a picture of what that looks like in case you don't know anyone who's ever tried to use that cream and you haven't used it. So there's basically a few different levels that you work your way up through. And there's actually a lot of skincare companies out there now who have separate vitamin A products that include the retinol. And again, we heard this morning, it's very difficult to partner retinol with any other ingredient because it's not stable. And so there's lots of skincare products out there that have a separate vitamin A all on its own, and some of them get you to work up in the percentages and in the potency of the vitamin A. So it's basically getting your skin used to it and then we'll up it again. Get your skin used to it, then we'll up it again. And that's what happens with this little tube of cream, and you just step your way up through a few different levels. So you start at 0.025, okay? Then you go up to 0.5 after about 3 months if your skin can cope, and then you can go up to 1%. So when you're thinking already ahead to our bakuchiol that we have in the AgeWell products, we have 2%. So at 1% with that really pure form of retinoic acid, there's a lot of irritation that happens. This peeling skin, redness, dry skin, sometimes even dermatitis can be caused. There's so much irritation that can come, and people have to push through that for months and months. And I remember trying it at one point because this is often recommended for people with breakouts, and I had acne my entire life until I started using Arbonne. And so I started using it when I worked for a plastic surgeon, and all around my nose, my lips, everything would just peel, and cracked lips. It was horrible. And I got through about a month and a half and I just said, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. You couldn't even cover it with makeup. That's how dry your skin is. So that's the sort of irritation we're talking about with high levels of the pure form of vitamin A. So then what people did, and skincare companies did, was went back and started backing off the percentage a little bit, and retinol is a different form of vitamin A. And so a smaller dose, a smaller percentage of retinol, our skin could cope with. But is it enough to do anything? So I was making dinner for the boys not long ago, and within the TV was on in the background, and within the however long I was in the kitchen making dinner, 4 different ads came on for over-the-counter products that is talking about retinol. So it's huge. It's what everyone knows works. But when it's the retinol form of vitamin A and it's a small percentage, is it really doing a lot for our skin? So that's kind of been the stuff going on with vitamin A in the background, okay? Lots of irritation, and we've had to back off and go down to quite a small percentage. So what we have found with bakuchiol is a vegan plant-based alternative to retinol without all that irritation that comes with it. I can't say zero actually, because I know some people that, as we've been using it as NVPs a week or two in the beginning, we've had a little bit of dryness, but that's gone after a week or two, whereas the other high percentages, you'd be going months and months with that irritation, and it just keeps getting worse. So that's the difference, is we found this plant-based alternative to retinol that is clinically proven to do everything that retinol does. So this is why it's so exciting, guys. If you were to walk into a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon's rooms today, they would be giving you retinol or Retin-A in some form. So we have access to now ingredients in our skincare that are the best of the best and are the most effective when it comes to getting results, and that's what we want to get repeat clients and repeat sales, is getting results. Okay, so how do we communicate that to our clients? So what we need to look at is, what is the skin going through? So when our clients get up, and when we get up in the morning and we look in the mirror, what are we seeing? What is it that we see in the skin? We see pigmentation starting to appear. We see fine lines and wrinkles. We see dryness in the skin as we age as well. We see some redness coming into. That's all the stuff that we see when we look in the mirror, okay? That's what people are trying to repair. They don't understand why it's happening. They don't understand what ingredients work. They just know what they get up and look at and think, you know what, if there's something I would change, it would be that. So what then is causing that is collagen production is decreasing, and that starts, as I think Michelle said this morning, at about the age of 18. So our collagen production slows down. I love the way Michelle actually explains collagen. So the way I've been explaining it since Michelle did this in a training earlier this year, think of collagen as the springs in an inner spring mattress. So I remember sleeping on an inner spring mattress when I was a kid, and when you first got the mattress, it was beautiful and plump and cushiony, and it was comfortable. And then after a while, you might hear some springs pop, and there's some lumps in the bed. That's what the collagen is like in our skin. The collagen is what gives our skin that plumpness and the strength to our skin too. So when there's less collagen in the skin, it's going to be like having less springs in your mattress. It's going to be bumpy. There's not going to be as much supporting you. So our collagen production slows down as early as 18. And that's what causes fine lines, wrinkles, and sagging skin as well. Then you've got our cell turnover slows down. So every 28 days, those cells should be turning over, and that stretches out up to over 50 days as we age as well. So what happens when your cell turnover slows down is you're seeing damaged skin cells, the aged skin cells, pigmentation, fine lines, all that sort of thing. It's sitting on top of the skin for longer, so that slows down. That gives us a little bit of a dull, tired look to our skin too. Our skin starts to thin. We have less hyaluronic acid in our skin. Hyaluronic acid are the tiny little molecules or particles in our skin that bind water molecules to it. So when you drink water or you put beautiful creams on with lots of hydration in there, all of that water goes and binds and hangs onto the hyaluronic acid particles in your skin. So when there's less of those particles in your skin, because that depletes as we age too, there's not as much stuff for the water to hang on to keep your skin beautiful and dewy and hydrated. And then of course we've got free radical damage too, which is all the environmental stuff, the sun, pollutants in there, dust, stress, husbands, kids, all that sort of stuff. That then plays a huge role in breaking down our skin structure as well. So that's what's going on. And then we see in the mirror fine lines, wrinkles, pigmentation, dry skin, all the stuff we associate with aging. So when you're communicating to your clients about these products, it's going to be great for you to be able to figure out what it is they would love to change about their skin. So when we're doing our 15-minute presentations, or if you've got a one-on-one, or you're doing a chat with someone on Zoom, or you're catching up with someone over a coffee and you're talking about it, I always ask the question, if you could tap your magic wand, what's the one thing you would change about your skin? So when I'm doing an online presentation and we're in a Facebook Live group, I say that, and that's how we make it really interactive. What would you change? What's the one thing that annoys you the most about your skin? And there's lots of interaction then going on. It's like, oh, my skin's so dry, or my crow's feet, or my fine lines around my lips, all of those things. So then you keep that and remember it, and you can go back through and watch. Because then once you explain the benefits of the ingredients in AgeWell, you're going to then be able to say, Christy, you told me that pigmentation was your issue. This is how Bakuchiol helps with your pigmentation. We get the cells turning over, so the pigmented cells actually come off the top and reveal the beautiful new skin cells underneath. Leah, you told me that it's the crow's feet. Well, by helping that cell turnover again and by increasing our collagen production with Bakuchiol, we're going to help you relieve those problems. So see how you can actually bring your knowledge. It's that this is all you need to know. So there's so much information that you could get your head around, but this is all you need to know. And I used to say to nurses when we were training them working in clinics, nurses are trained to look after people, and they'd come in and have to sell skincare, and it's like, remember 3 ingredients and you're going to sound like you know what you're talking about. So this little bit of information is really as much as you need to know to sound like you know what you're talking about, and being that educated person that Jean David was talking about this morning. So really get an idea, what is the thing they look at and want to change? What is it that, with that self-talk and that positive mindset that we were talking about this morning, we beat ourselves up more than anyone else. What's the one thing they beat themselves up about? And let's try and help them with that. So it's just like what we say when we reach out about the business. If you let people talk long enough, they're going to tell you exactly why they need the business in their life. Same with the skin. If you let people talk long enough, they're going to tell you exactly what it is that they're hoping they can improve with skincare. And then you can jump in and explain, okay, well, I know AgeWell does this, this, and this, and we won't have any of the irritation. And then there's all the other the ingredients in there too. So what AgeWell is going to help, as we said, is collagen production. It's going to help increase the collagen production. It really helps to speed up the cell turnover, so we get that back on track. So you're actually going to start purging a lot of the damaged dry skin cells sitting on top of your skin. And that is what might cause a little bit of dryness in the first week or two as we purge through that. And it also helps to thicken the epidermis too. So AgeWell is the hero in this range. It really is. But then you still have the other two parts to the trifecta. So it's still got our stabilized vitamin C, and we still have our plant stem cells as well. And they both help with collagen production and just getting that hydration locked into the top layer of the skin. But then we've brought over ingredients from our RE9 Advanced range, things like niacinamide, which again is just locking the hydration into that top layer of the skin. Hyaluronic acid, so remember I said hyaluronic acid particles deplete as we age, so there's hyaluronic acid in these products as well. All the omega fatty acids in there too, which are going to help get that beautiful dewy look to the skin and keep it nice and healthy. Everything is there that they need. So just by rattling these few ingredients off and understanding, all we need to do is understand, okay, what's happening to the skin? What is it they see in the mirror? Okay, these are the ingredients that are going to help. And that can literally happen in 2 or 3 minutes in your 15-minute presentation. Okay, so that's kind of getting your head around all of the information that we heard this morning, because it was so fantastic. And it's good for you to know, because knowledge is power and it gives you confidence. But you don't have to go and share all of that information with your clients. That was for you to understand that. So we just need to start talking their language and recognize what their skin concerns are, so that we can really target for them which products are going to really work well. So let's get to a little bit of some strategy sort of stuff, okay? So of course we are all jumping in and doing online presentations. So as I said before, the key here is going to be helping to make them really interactive. So ask them, what is it you would love to see a difference in? And let them tell you. And so what you can do is just keep coming back and going, oh, Sarah, you've just said this. And okay, this is how the ingredient that's going to help you with that. And so that's how I really am using my online presentations. I've done 2 already tonight. And oh my gosh, it was just so exciting to get on and talk about the AgeWell products and share this. So I've done this tonight, and we had lots of interaction and lots of questions at the end. It was fantastic. So that's already happening. So make them really interactive, 15 minutes, but definitely include a little bit of education in there about why retinol is really great, why an alternative to traditional retinol is really great, because we're getting rid of the irritation. And then, okay, what's that going to mean for your skin? How does that change your skin? So that's the first part, is get in front of as many people as you can and do those online presentations. If you're allowed, do in-home presentations as well. We are allowed where we are to have up to 20 people in our home. So I have 2 big launch parties here that I've booked in. I have one of my clients that is hosting for me in her own home. So if you're allowed, get out and do those as well. I have to tell you that people still love to touch and feel. And just by picking up the bottles, being glass, they feel incredibly luxurious. So even if they're just touching, feeling, putting a little bit on their hand, it's still going to be pretty powerful. So if you can do in person, then great. But doing it online, all you need is that little bit of education to make it really successful. Okay. Who do we get to host? Now, I don't know about you, but I have certainly seen some online presentations with huge QV and others not so great. And the ones that have always been really successful are when my raving fans of RE9 are my host. They are the ones you want to start with now too. I've shared this story a little bit in the last few days. I had one of my great PCs who absolutely loves RE9, and she hosted a 15-minute online presentation for me. And I got to the end and started to share some little sets and packs, and about 7 people all messaged me wanting to order the exact same thing. They didn't want the whole set yet. They wanted the serum, the eye cream, and the skin elixir. And so I'm thinking, how do they all want the same thing? So I messaged Liesl, the host, and I said, okay, I've got everyone ordering these 3 things. She goes, yeah, I told them they had to. I told them if they can't afford the whole set yet, this is what you go with. So they all just did it. So if you have someone who loves your RE9 products and you can share how amazing these products are going to be in comparison to RE9, get them to host, because they are going to help you sell these products to their friends and family. Their testimony, their story is going to speak volumes to their friends and family. So definitely go to your raving fans and ask them to host, because they're going to be some really successful presentations for you. So that's a great place to start to fill your diary with those. As I said, product launch parties are always great, especially after we've had so much going on, even if it's 3 or 4 people allowed in a house at a time, to just sit and play with some skincare and have a glass of bubbles or a cup of herbal tea. That means a lot to people at the moment. So in person, great if you can. And then the other big thing, remember, is individual reach outs as well, because in our groups, in our VIP groups and other groups that we're doing, not everyone sees everything we post. Facebook changes the algorithm so much that even if they may not have their notifications turned on in the group, and if they're just not interactive in that group, they don't see everything. So I've, in so many instances, when I've personally messaged someone and said, did you see my post in the group about this? Because I thought you'd really love it. And I go, I didn't even see that. Thank you for letting me know. So don't just count on your groups and your VIP groups and social media to share these products. Make sure you've got a list of people that you are individually reaching out to, or it might just be as simple as tagging them. So I'm doing a launch within my VIP group as well, because I'm doing 2 in home. There's people coming to, some people couldn't come to that. They didn't want to host, and so they're getting onto my launch in my VIP group. So the people that are in that, or the people that I think don't live near me and would love to jump into that, I've tagged them in everything I've posted about that as I've been sharing it. So you need to make sure that personally you're reaching out to people, because they don't always see what we're doing in our groups. And this is worth a personal reach out. They will love these products when they get their hands on it. So personally reaching out is great. Who do we reach out to and who do we ask to host? As I said, our raving fans definitely. But you know what? I don't know about you, but I've had a few people say no to me over the years. And some of them have been because they've said they're using medical grade products, or they get their products from a plastic surgeon or a dermatologist or their skin specialist. And they just don't believe often that we would have ingredients that would compare to products they buy from there. They're the sort of people you could reconnect with. I have a whole list of those people who've said no to me because they've wanted to use something else, and I'm about to contact them and say, look, you love skincare, you love good skincare, you want it to work, you need to see this. So that's another group of people that you can reach out to as well. And anyone who over the years may have stopped using our RE9 Advanced, because I've had a few of those as well. As much as you can look after someone, sometimes people get it in their head that they need to swap and change. And so I'm going to be reaching out to all of those people that have stopped using the RE9 Advanced over the years and introduce them to AgeWell as well. So there are all the ways that we can get out and start talking and sharing. I would have to say, and this is just my personal preference, I would have to say really promote buying the product and taking advantage of the 45-day money-back guarantee if it doesn't suit them, over sampling, because as I said, in that first week or so, our skin will go through some changes. It may dry out a little bit, and retinol, and thus I'm thinking bakuchiol is the same because it happened to me, it kind of unplugs the build-up in any hair follicles and pores that we have. So you may get a few breakouts. I got 2 whoppers on my chin when I started. So that may happen. So if you're giving someone a sample that lasts them 3, 4, 5 days, if you gave them 2 lots, they actually might just start to go through their getting used to the products and not have enough to then see how beautiful their skin can be on the other side. So don't be scared of samples, but I would absolutely recommend buying the product and really, so I had a lady say that to me on one of my presentations tonight. Why are you different to everyone else? And why do your ingredients work? And I said, look, why don't you just get it and try it? Because if you get it and try it, you have 45 days to use it, for your skin to get used to it, to know you love it. And if you don't love it, you send it back and get a full refund. And she said, okay, okay, well, I can do that. So really use that rather than the sampling when you can, because I just think that people are going to actually, some people won't experience any dryness or any sort of side effects at all. And if they do, I promise you it's only a week or so. But why don't we try and avoid that and just use the 45-day money back guarantee, okay? Because that's what it's there for. And the last little part that I want to share with you, because I will get off, is this is a great time to be talking business. You are about to reconnect with so many people that you have known in your AgeWell journey. And what better time to talk business than when a company is going through a transformation like this? And it is such a great time to jump in and have something new to get out and share and be excited to be putting the products on their own skin. So just keep that in your mind. You know, when you start a conversation with someone and just a simple conversation, you say, have you seen my post about these new products? That could go anywhere. That could go absolutely anywhere. They end up hosting for you and have 4, 5, 6 people ordering. There's a new consultant. So business will boom. If you learn the basic science, as John David said this morning, get your head around it and get out there and get in front of as many people as you possibly can, and believe in this AgeWell range, because it will stand out amongst the crowd, I promise you. The last little thing I want to share is there is a great tool that has come out as part of the AgeWell launch, and it's called Healthy Aging Focus Guide. I love it. I remember when I started in AgeWell 10 years ago, I had our product catalogue next to our bed, and I read it every night before I went to sleep to get my head around what I could say about the products. I would really highly recommend downloading the Healthy Aging Focus Guide and reading that, because what the communication was this morning was the mind, body, skin philosophy and that holistic approach to aging well. In there is every bit of information that you would even need to go and share and talk to clients about. So that is a great tool that I really highly recommend you use. So I hope that's helped everyone a little bit get your head around all the stuff that came out this morning. I hope you now understand how powerful these products are and how truly unique and special this product launch is. This is about to set us into a whole new era in our business, I promise, if you take the time and do your due diligence and learn a little bit and remember a couple of ingredients and get out there and share it with excitement and passion and get your skin glowing so people can see you. All right, have a great day, everyone, and hopefully I'll get to see you again soon. Bye.